Yes, people, how are we doing? Hopefully everyone's good. It is PCA First Timers number 5. This was my first ever show 3 years ago, which is crazy because I feel like I've been in the game now for a lot longer than 3 years. However, we have 2 clients on stage today. Josh Strutt has just been on. It was a bit of a nightmare trying to get here. When it rains, people can't drive. If you live in the UK, you know that. And it's been torrential rain. So basically, it took me a little bit longer. I still saw him, but I didn't see him beforehand, so I didn't get the intro done before, which I usually would. Josh got 4th. Josh is doing other shows, if I'm not mistaken. We spoke about it. We've not really mentioned too much, but there's a FitX in 2 weeks. Overall, Josh was massive. I was really happy. I'm guessing Sam probably got some footage that maybe he can overlay before, during, or after. But I was really happy with how he looked. The lineup was class. It was really, really good. He was big. It's just a case of a little bit more detail and sharpness through the lower. Josh is somebody who works a long amount of time and also doesn't really sleep that much. So his overall ability to gauge fatigue is pretty fucking poor. He'd be the first one to tell you. So it was pretty much a case of like trying to manage that, which is a bit annoying, but he looked really good, really happy with kind of how things are. It just needs to be sharper and harder through the lower. And then we also have Luke Jane, Junior? No. Men's Physique Tall. He's going to be on about 4 p.m, so it's a long day. These shows are always stupidly busy when it comes to how many people are here, all those the standard. It's always a good one. Literally, I had 2 clients, I had 3 clients here last year, 2 clients here this year. Next year, hopefully around maybe more, we'll see. But yeah, I always like the show. Like I said, I did this 3 years ago, won the overall in Men's Physique. I wouldn't win an overall in Men's Physique now. I'm worse in Men's Physique now than I was 3 years ago, which is weird. But yeah, literally, really good day. We'll take you through it, take you through a show day, get some reels done. As always, Sam, prepare. And as always, hopefully everyone enjoys. The show season so far has been ridiculous, to be fair. It's really good. I literally have had clients on stage every single weekend for the last 5-6 weeks, and I will have clients every single weekend on from this point. I've got 3 on stage next weekend, 4 on stage the following weekend, then PCA finals in 2 weeks, which will probably be 3 to 4. And literally, it's just been show after show after show. So pretty wrecked. I'm also going to do a bit of an update on myself because I've injured my knee. My left knee is fucked, if you've been paying attention to the story. So there's been a lot to kind of catch you guys up upon. So it'll be show, bit of a personal update, some reels, all that sort of stuff. Stay tuned, sit back, relax, and hopefully we will have a good day and a good time, which I know we will. So yeah, all good. See you in the next clips. Sam. Right guys, so gonna have to be really quick because we're sat on a stairwell that has 0 people walking by, and the second that we sit down, there's literally like been constant people going back and forth. So second attempt, hopefully we should be all good. So we have found Josh, came off stage. This is something that I think we actually do probably need to speak about in greater detail. Probably not now because people are going to be walking by, but it's quite normal after you come off stage to be in like a whirlwind of emotions. It's a very tricky sort of headspace to describe because you go from the highs of being on stage, the highs of enjoying it, but then the realization of, oh, I'm off stage now, the day's almost done, and potentially I might have expected to win, or I didn't expect to place and I placed. And it's a bit of a weird sort of headspace. So how are you feeling? How are you finding things now, mate?
I was a bit emotional when I first came off, but you know now I've calmed down and I've seen the photos and I've had a look. You know, I feel pretty good about myself. I know I definitely could have been better, but for a first time, I'm proud of myself. I actually really enjoyed, out of the whole prep, I enjoyed standing on that stage more than anything. So it's definitely a sign of I can do this again.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy with how it's gone, and let's just be better next time.
So yeah, that's something to kind of definitely consider because a lot of times, and I've said this to Josh when he got off stage, most people's first time on stage, you're not getting a top placing, you're not even getting a first call out. Realistically, there's only going to be 10 to 12 winners today in the males. There's probably going to be a case where Josh might not be winning a show, but I want him to go in thinking he's going to win. And that's what you need to have from a mindset standpoint. And now it's just a case of skewing things into a positive. What can we get better with? A lot of things. And we've got multiple other shows. I said to Josh, he needs to stop worrying, stop stressing, everything will be fine. Realistically, we're most likely looking at 2 of the shows. It's now a case of chilling out for today. I want Josh to have a few days just to chill out and wind down because as I said earlier, Josh's ability to gauge fatigue is shit. However, I will say it's good because he's not a fucking pussy who's saying, oh, I'm tired, I've slept for an hour. It's just like, I've got to crack on. I said to him at 2 weeks out when I gave him an in-person check-in, I was like, how was the session? And he was like, awesome. That's the one thing I've got to focus on, my training sound. Not many people are like that. Most people are like, oh, I've got to train, it's a chore, it's a job. Josh is somebody who just trains really fucking well. And as a result, this will be something that we'll take and we'll get better with in the future. So yeah, Josh has handled himself really well. It's been an awesome process. And our goals long term are going to supersede this prep by quite some distance. But that's something that we can work towards long term. And I said to Josh, this is just now a case of setting his foundations and getting him to be somewhat of a competitive athlete by doing a few shows, seeing how the look is, getting himself prepared psychologically for what he wants to do, because Josh wants to have a career in bodybuilding, which potential-wise, for 22, just turned, Josh has got a very good amount of potential. So yeah, back to the drawing board, make some improvements. We both can brush up on things that we know we need to be better with, and this is something that we just now, like I said, have to skew into a positive. When in reality, most people, like I said, would come off and be like, 4th place is sick in a wicked lineup. But we've now got to skew it and think, okay, cool, it's all right, but we need to be better, and we will be better. So yeah, man, really, really good stuff. Handle yourself perfectly. Now it's just a case of getting better. So yeah, all good. That's Josh. We might catch up a little bit later. I'm going to give him, he's got a cream of rice bowl. What is it? What's the food?
160 grams salted caramel.
Conte? Is it Conte?
No, it's
salted caramel, cream of rice, Conte. Reese 10. I will actually say the Conte stuff and JP stuff is very similar. You can't really tell the difference.
I've not tried Conte.
Well, you need to, Reese 10. So yeah, he's got a cream of rice bowl. He's going to have some fajitas tonight. One thing, again, that is frustrating on the show day, people just overeat. So you're not overeating. We're going to have a controlled, somewhat high day, and then back to the baseline sort of diet, but just chilling out, having a few rest days, getting ourselves ready, and then we'll be looking upon our next sort of show avenues over the next few days, which will be good. So yeah, like I said, we'll wrap up there because people are coming. Bye-bye for now. See you later. Right, so we are snitching. There's a guy who's already competed, who's up against Nath, one of Finn's guys, and to be fair, he actually looks really good. And we don't want him to beat Nath. So basically, we're going to go and say, he's already competed. He's from Germany. He's flew all the way from Germany to do a first
We're
time
going
show.
to fuck his day up, bless him.
Yeah, and now we're just going to be like, oh, sorry, bro, you're not competing. So, yeah, we're taking no prisoners today. 0 prisoners.
Sorry, you're all right.
Sorry, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
We're just
reporting.
coming. He knows we're coming. This is him.
What class is he in?
Men's physique, medium.
Yeah, I can see, yeah.
So
Is he
229.
from this country or where?
It's from Germany.
Oh, and I've already had two.
So they've just not. They just don't know.
Yeah, they've been on already.
Did they not?
They already competed before today.
Yeah, let me check.
They just might not have known.
They must be together, innit?
Huh? They will do, hopefully, yeah.
They've put the towels on the stage ready, haven't they? You know, got the sunbeds in Germany. Yeah.
They're pretty good, aren't they? They're being on it though.
Well, he's not
Turns out, not a cheat. He's been on stage, but because he can get a tan, he's down. So basically, just wash your tan off. Wash your tan off. If you don't win, just do the show again next year. Just have a shower. If you don't win, then just do it next year. Just keep doing first time and then be like, I ain't got a tan.
Yeah, it's the same. But Faye was doing it, but that's what they're doing. We've already investigated it, yeah. It's a common thing in Germany, yeah, I know, yeah. Don't actually...
Not fucked him up.
Sound.
Oh well.
Is what it is, sir.
At least we've not ruined his holiday.
Yeah.
I think I've sent you them. They should come through from Nathan Bennett.
Mission failed. Mission failed. Turns out they have been on stage, but because they didn't get a tan, they did a pre-show. So it doesn't really make too much sense. Is it fair? Look, these Germans, weird traditions. So yeah, basically we snitched, but kind of doesn't count. So we look silly now. Sam, don't get this in the video. Get this in the video because it's funny.
Oh well.
Before you go on, they'll urge you up. But get your glaze as the last person. So when they're saying glaze, glaze, go last because they'll rush you if you go first. Get your glaze done. Look at yourself and go, have a bit more hair. Like look a bit more on your abs. Just get on your abs, delts, like over your arms, stuff like that. Just literally say to them, just glaze me up again. Just say I've got dry skin usually. And to be fair, your skin is a little bit drier. So I'd say, so it'd be a good thing to just get glazed up. Because again, if you're first, they'll just rush you. They'll go, yep, cool, glaze, sound, and that'll be it. When in reality, what you want to be doing is almost getting your glaze last, and then literally just looking down at yourself and going, bit more hair, bit more hair. You can't really, in your condition, you can't be too glazed. Especially the lights here are bright, so you want to be glazed. Everyone by the end of the posing usually looks shit because the glaze is gone. Hello guys, I'm having a protein bar. I usually dislike protein bars, and to be fair, these are no different. I can't actually show them because they're not Conte. There you go. The main reason why I can't be bothered to walk to the car, my knee is battered. So walking to the car at this point, I've already done a few too many steps today, my knee's really inflamed. Situation, if you don't know about my knee, I thought I'd tell you. If you do know, skip ahead. But basically, I was on holiday 3 weeks ago, and my knee decided to go left, my left knee, and I went right. So I've like slightly partially torn my IT band on my left side, which was already pretty battered before, and then I've got serious edema in and around the knee, so it's really, really swollen. So long story short, can't really walk. That's the reason why my meals are in the car, but it's like a 10-minute walk. And there and back, I genuinely don't think I'll be able to make it because I've been on my feet too much already today. So that was the knee update. It's been 3 and a bit weeks. Unfortunately, I could do like a clickbait, prep delayed, prep over, can't prep next year. I'm probably not gonna be able to prep early next year. I think I'll still be able to do late next year. But right now, I can't even tense my left leg, let alone load it, let alone train legs, and it's already half the size. And I'm being honest, it's literally half the size, so I can't tense it. So, update on me, not the best. Also had to prematurely end my pre-prep diet because I can't move. I don't really think that pulling away body weight at this point is going to be beneficial. So for me, I'm currently sitting at like 117, 118 kilos, which to be fair is actually pretty sound. My peak was 134. I wanted to get down to about 110 where I'd be pretty lean, but I'm in that sort of sweet spot where I can train really well. I can still, like, maintainable food wise. I'm not shredded, but I'm not fat. Like I'm in a pretty good spot condition wise that I'm happy with. And it's like, if I was to probably pick a time for it to happen, it probably would be in this sort of situation. But it's definitely like delayed things. So the main goal right now for me is just to get my knee healthier, spam myself with BPC, and TB500 modified subs, Reese 10, they sponsor me literally the couple days after I did it, so thank you guys, use the code if you need some peptides. And I've got an ultrasound machine, shout out Imran from Leicester, came up to me, gave me an ultrasound machine, and then otherwise as much anti-inflam gel as I can put on my knee, and hopefully over the next couple of weeks my knee gets better. So that's the knee update. Show update so far, we are just before, I think the second section is starting in a moment. I think we're just going to head back. We're a few minutes away from the venue. We're currently in Starbucks, just been rinsing Sam for about 30 reels each, more so for me. So yeah, that's that. And we've got, for me, I've got Luke, he's on men's physique like tall, and then Finn has Nathan in medium. He was on the cusp of medium. Both look really, really good. It'll be good to kind of see how they do. Good to see how the lineup is. Men's physique always was one of those where it's a bit of a tricky sort of kind of game, especially at first timers, because there's always a few freaks. I was one of them 3 years ago when I won the overall at this show. But yeah, this is actually the same show, like I said at the start of the video, that I did. I've already mentioned that twice, so I'm sorry. The reason I mention it is because of my peak. I've not got better since, clearly. But yeah, that was me 3 years ago. Luke is obviously in tall. Luke actually, funnily enough, so my client, he watched me at this show, which is quite cool. And I said to him, like, his first show experience was him coming, not to watch me at a client, but he watched me. And I was like, 3 years later, I'm coaching him and he's now going to be on stage. But Luke's nailed it. Like, I honestly really don't care about the result with Luke. Like, and that's not to say I don't think he could win. It's just a case where he's handled himself really well. He's early in the game of getting up on stage, and he's actually got up on stage, and he's gonna look great. So for Luke, I'm over the moon that he's up there, and otherwise it's been a really good day so far. But these days always are pretty long because there's a lot of people that do them, and it's a busy show. This is always the busiest first timer show by quite some distance, and this and Midlands, so the week before for PCA, are usually the two highest quality standard. This is by far the highest quality first timers. All the guys were really, really good, and people have this as a main show. I did. When I started in 2021, it was like one show that I was like, well, September, that's the one I'm doing, because the others, I don't think there was many. I think there was like 2 or 3, and this was like the pinnacle because it was closest to finals. So yeah, that's that. Got a pro dough. Oh, can't say pro dough. Sam, got a caramel one and a cookie dough one. So if I was a massive gimp, I'd have a bite of each and go, oh, I prefer this one. I'm not a gimp. They're both pretty mid. All protein bars are. If you have a protein bar rating and like ranking list, grow up. I'm 25. I don't care that much about protein bars, but I'm gonna enjoy my 2 protein bars. Finn's gonna do a little bit of a summary of the day so far, and then we're gonna go watch men's physique. because you'll have fats in the final meal, and your final meal will be somewhat pretty soon. Right, cool. So, Luke, come get yourself involved. I feel like I've been holding something all day today. Like literally holding my fucking life together with how shit my knee is. And the fact that Luke didn't place, annoyingly. Right guys, so I'm gonna do a bit of a wrap up with Luke. Luke unfortunately didn't place, he didn't get first call out. It was a bit of a shame. I thought Luke looked really good. We've just been speaking for probably the best part of the last, 45 minutes regarding how things are. And it's one of those sort of things where it's annoying, it's frustrating, but it also happens. Like one thing that kind of kept coming back was Luke asking himself, I've put everything that I can into this, and it simply just wasn't enough. And it's a harsh sort of thing to accept and embrace when you're like, you've worked really hard, you've applied yourself for 20 weeks, you brought a really good package, but simply that package was not enough today.
It wasn't good enough.
It wasn't good enough. And there's responses here. And the response is imperative. Some people view it and think, bodybuilding's not for me, the judges did this, the judges did that. Luke placed where he placed, I'd say fairly, and it's unfortunate. His back shot was really good. His front shot was nice, just needs more tissue through the chest. And some people would view that and think, oh, well, I need to do this, I need to do that. We've got time. We've got 2 weeks till his final show. We've got another week to his next show. He's already signed up for Hull, so that's PCA Hull. That's going to be the plan for next week. And like now, it's just a case of getting better, which we can do. A few posing tweaks. I thought the shorts looked really good on you. I thought there was a lot of positives. Back shots were really, really good. It's just a case of making the midsection look as good as it possibly can. Because Luke is somebody whose midsection is good, like when it comes to size. Like your waist is small. Yeah. It's just a case of making sure that you're like actually on your abs, and also naturally, like we've said before, like at 90 kilos, your legs were peeled, your upper back was peeled, you were peeled by your midsection. Yeah. And it's come in a lot, but there's still a little bit more to come in, but also as well, like things like just getting a good pump, getting good posing, all that sort of stuff. Or just, I say getting good posing, just being able to actually contract and get all his air out. Because when your air is out, you look really good. But there was a few side shots where it was very much like bodybuilder-esque and you were almost like crunching a little bit too further forward. But these mistakes we make, and we just have to look upon it. And Luke said, like literally down there, he's done everything that he needs to do, and now we just need to get better. So it was quite normal after you get off, like similar to Josh earlier. Not everyone's going to win, and sometimes you do and you think, fuck, like the lineup was shit, or sometimes you win, or sometimes you don't win and you think, oh, I need to get better, but the outcome is getting better. The response that we don't want is thinking that the judges have done this, or you need to, like, just things that, like, what ifs. Yeah. As we said. So are we both annoyed? Yes, I'm annoyed. It would have been really good to have seen Luke get a top placing, but even if he had got a first call out, we would have been annoyed that he hadn't won. And even if he had won, he probably wouldn't have won the overall, and we get frustrated. And let's say, for example, even if he had won the overall, we get into next week and we get beat. You're not going to win every single show, and that's the black and white assessment. And it's annoying, it's frustrating, but we've got to take it and move on. So positive actions, giving Luke a Nando's tonight, going for a nice Nando's, which will be good. Stress drop off. Check in tomorrow, see how things are, and then we've got a week till the next show, and then a week till prep's done, which is going to come around really, really quick. So in a weird way, you have to enjoy the ups and the downs. The prep so far collectively has been fucking great.
I've enjoyed it. I've loved every minute. It's just a shit outcome today, which we learn from. We go into next week, can only improve. Can't get worse.
No, I mean, you beat 3 people today. Yeah. So you never know, you might not beat 3 people. You hopefully will beat 3 people.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, but it's one of those.
It was okay. The actual day, I've loved it. The prep, I've loved it.
On stage?
On stage, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved the experience on stage. We'll 100% do it again. Well, I am next week, but what I mean is in future years, I will do it again. It's just a bad outcome. It's not what we came here. It's not what we wanted. But, like we said, we can only improve.
Exactly.
We can't change how big I am. We can't change my condition today. We can't change who turned up. We just need to adapt and make sure that next week we beat today
on a visual. And keep getting better. That's literally what bodybuilding is all about. Like I said to Luke, the first time that we ever like knew of each other, we trained together in probably what, like 2018?
4 or 5 years ago, probably longer than that.
Yeah, it was before, way before lockdown. It was it was like 5-6 years ago.
Back in the old Pure Gym.
Yeah, Pure Gym Leicester. And I guarantee if you had shown Luke where he's at now, we both would have been like, what the fuck? Like, this is really, really good. Because back then, like, I remember you training and how you trained. Like, you trained well, but like physique-wise, like, you didn't...
I looked like shit.
Yeah, Luke looked awful.
I was very skinny. I was like a typical 80, 90 kilos wet through.
But like skinny fat.
Yeah.
You know, and now you're 80 kilos in very, very good condition. Yeah. So that's what we've got to focus on, the progression aspect. And Luke will look better next week. Luke will look better the following week. And then it's the case of going into an off season and getting even better. So it's one of those sort of things. It's annoying, it's frustrating. the result was a bit shit. Okay, cool, we get better. And that's what we've got to view it as. So, as I said, Luke should hold his head high, as Josh should earlier. It was a really good day. And these are things where, from a coaching standpoint, you go back to the drawing board. From an athlete standpoint, you go back to the drawing board. And the outcome is always, I need to get better. So the work commences. The work commences, as it always is. That's that. Luke,
Another week of
classmate.
digging.
I say digging, not really digging, but just
Improving.
Improving. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. I'll do a quick outro. I'll sign Luke off. Either way, that's that. Luke, say bye to the camera. I say bye to the camera. I actually need to get some photos. Yeah. So bye to the camera on the YouTube video. Cool. Right, so let's get some pics. Right guys, so I've taken my goodbyes to Luke, and that is the show video. One of those where it's a bit of a tricky one, because from a coaching standpoint, I always will ask myself, what could I have done better? What could I have done more of to get better placings? And sometimes you just don't get them. And it happens. Literally last week, I got a win with Cam, and I also got a 5th with Storm. The week before, I got a win and I got an overall. This week, I got a 4th and no placing. And it is a shame. It's one of those sort of things where I get upset for my guys being upset. So it's like, I wear like my heart on my sleeve when it comes to coaching. And are there things that we could do better? 100%. There's always. It would be naive of me to assume from a coaching standpoint that I'm going to be flawless every single week with my guys. Today I was happy with how things were. It would just be a case of me assessing and thinking, how could I improve so they could improve, and what things we can do better, and there's a lot. So there's a lot of positives to take. This show is always really high standard. When I won the overall, third time I mentioned it, the standard was the highest it's ever been. But even then, I was so flat. Like, I remember I coached myself. I was like, I looked so flat, my glaze was shit. And even though I won the overall, there were still so many things I could get better. I looked better the following week, and I got beat. And I was like, what the fuck, I won the overall. It happens, it's bodybuilding, you ain't gonna win everything. So go back to the drawing board for both of the boys. Luke is on next week, Josh is on in 2, which will be good for both of them. And they just need to respond positively. And like I said, I get upset when they're not happy. But this is the highs and the lows. Some days you have as a coach, fucking awesome. Some days, not as awesome, but this is still a really good day. And there'll be a lot of good content that comes from it, because I've absolutely rinsed Sam for reals. Sorry, Sam, rinsed you for reals, bro. And like I said, with the boys, it's one of those where go back to the drawing board and we go again. And that's what the kind of game of life is all about. When you hit a milestone, that's good, you keep going. When you have a day like this and maybe you don't hit the milestone, you don't hit what you expect, you just got to keep going, and we will do. So yeah, the show goes on, literally, because they're still competing. For me, my leg, I'm not going to be able to compete, unfortunately, probably for a good amount of time. But that's that. Hope everyone's enjoyed the video. Any more content, any questions, anything like that, drop them below. DMs are always open. I've got Sam booked for a video with a very special guest who bottle posing with me last time. I'm going to bottle pose because I can't pose really. So that'll be that. That'll be in a week or 2. And I have said to Sam, back to regular YouTube content, because the last few months have been holidays, injuries, moving out. It's been, for me, a lot more irregular than normal. So back to filming regularly with Sam. Sam will be happy because I'm definitely his favourite client. Sam? Yeah, now that I'm paying Sam will be like, oh yeah, Reese's sound. So yeah, that's that. So there'll be more YouTube content coming out in this winter arc. What is the winter arc? What is the winter arc? Do you know? I've just seen people say it. So on this winter arc, YouTube content is coming back, and I can rinse the hashtag road to recovery and how to, like, my prep's going to be over. That is going to be the next YouTube title, like my prep over or something like that. Christ, awful. So yeah, that's the video. I'm rambling at this point. Hope you everyone's enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. See you later. Bye bye.